Okay, I should be live now. I apologize. I don't know what happened. I switched from my laptop to my phone and things went haywire. So we're going to try this again. Okay, I'm asking somebody if they can see me. What about now? Okay, so I'm going to give it a second. For those who were on my live a minute ago, I apologize to everybody left. Suzanne, she's on. Cool. Let's Constance, I know, was gonna hop on, and okay, so I apologize. This will be what I end up replaying. My hot mess self. Okay, cool. This is what I get. That's good because I had to cut some extra zipper tapes out. Not zipper tape, the pull tabs. All right. Okay, so Suzanne, since you're with me, to anybody that joins, hello, hi. We will replay this live. I'm sorry if you end up falling at some point. Okay, so what we do is we grab our zipper tape or zipper in general. I got this from Zorel Fabrics, like I said before. And then my little custom pull from Zorel 2 is little 0. Isn't he cute? Okay, so what I like to do is I take the main fabric first and I line it up with this one finished edge first. I like to start with the one that's already closed up because it just makes life easier. Just double check what all the seam allowances state in the pattern. I'm really bad at remembering them. I know it's either a 1/4 inch or 3/8 inch. And anybody that's rewatching this, everything here is already cut, interfaced, and ready to go, except for I had a last minute zipper tab. And if you guys have any questions, pop them on here while we're going along, and I'll look over every now and then. I hope you guys can see everything okay. We're trying something new here. Did it help? Ooh, that's a bigger picture. Look at that. Oh, technology, y'all. Everybody ignore my double chin. Is this what my teachers go through when at the expo? Trying to get camera angles and such for you guys. Woohoo! I should have just left it the way it was. Oh my gosh. All right. Bad idea. Let's go back to the way it was. All right. Huh. Good enough. All right. All right. So I put the main one on, right sides together. I'm going to do the other one real quick. I know some people like to sandwich these from the get-go, but I feel like I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm a little lazy about it. All right, let me make sure I'm seeing everybody. Hello, whoever Facebook user is. Yep, cameras are hard. I hate cameras. So y'all are going to stare at my logo. Your best friends when making bags are the clips. And honestly, on this bag, I will be using my pins. On the curved edges, it helps quite a bit, honestly. Normally, I just make bags with the clips, but there's a couple difficult spots. Okay, so I'm going to take this, line this up. Voila. And this is why I hate clips. They hold everything nice at first, and then you move 2 inches. You put your foot down, and then life hates you. Okay. All right. But anyway, what I was saying. Okay, I'm going to turn y'all this way. I apologize again. It is what it is. For those who don't have industrial or semi-industrial machines, mine is a Brother NS2750. And it's a combo machine that does up to 5x7 embroidery. I love it. My last machine was a 4x4 combo Brother and sewed through bags just fine until 10 years into making bags. So you can do it, just go slow. And if you have to, there's a hand crank on the side. Okay, so now we're going to put the back side on, the accent interfaced, give nice stability. So I just line that up right along the edge. And again, you could have made your life easier by just sandwiching it from the beginning, but I'm only slightly OCD and like to make sure my first one's on correctly before I start the second one. So again, everything's personal preference around here. I like to stitch over the same line. Again, nobody judge me. Okay, so we did back, front, and then we're going to flip them up. And then we're going to just top stitch these. If you want them to line up nice and even, I like to pull them up nice and taut, find that edge, and then clip them. They may not line up evenly or perfectly, but they'll look nice later. Okay, pull it tight. Clip. And then I like to do like 1/8 of an inch seam allowance right along there. Give it a nice little top stitch. Holds it in place nice. The same on this side. 1/8 inch. All right. Hey, Michelle. I have my fabric cut, but work keeps getting in the way. No. Okay, well, I'll replay this for you later. But I preferred if you sewed along with me. Okay, so the little zipper tabs, whatever you call them, are on there. Take the clip off now on both sides. And this is the full length of what you've got now. Okay, let me go grab my laptop because I like to look at, I'm going to double check the instructions that I'm not leading you astray. Michelle, are you at home is the question. Because if you're at home, work ends. All right. Got all my pieces too. All right. Okie dokie. Next, what you're going to do. Oh, you just got home. Okay, good. We'll catch up. Woo. Oh, man. Okay. I'm telling y'all, I'm going to get a better setup for this so we can do more of these live sew-alongs going forward. So I feel like I'm sewing with my friends during COVID. All right. Ha! I feel sturdy. Okay, so next you're going to take your main panel that's got the little curved This is going to be on the very front of the bag. So you guys can see a reference. It's this outer part right here. I know I didn't use contrasting, but it's this outer part right here. And we're going to attach this zipper on the outer part right now. Okay. So one thing that she said to do that I really liked, honestly, in these instructions and in her video was, okay, so you fold everything in half. I say everything, most pattern pieces in half, right? You find that middle point and she clips this little triangle. Obviously, don't make the triangle too big, but like a nice little clip. Ooh. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it. There's like a little divot right there, and it makes it nice and easy. So then what I can do on my zipper tape is fold it in half, line up these ends. See, look, that lines up nicely. I didn't cut too horribly off. And then I'm going to cut it on either side of the zipper tape right here. Same thing, like a little tiny triangle. Boom. And boom. Oh, man. Somebody left me feedback. Okay. Let me plug in my phone before I get. Right? The triangle trick is so cute, and I love it. I usually put a little pin in, but the pins always get in the way, and I like the little triangle trick. Okay. So what she says to do is, here's the front, and you know, most people are right-handed. So her logic is for right-handed people. So let's go for the masses, even though I'm a lefty and lefties are cooler. So assume that, I'm hoping this is showing the right way to you guys. I know cameras flip everything, but your zipper tape, your zipper pull is going to be to the left side when you look at it. So let's just look at it like this, right? Put it like here. It's to the left. This is the middle. Then you're going to take this and you're going to flip it down, right? We do right sides together. We're not doing French seams here. And you're going to line up those little triangle divots. And then this is where you can pick your preference, pins or clips. So on curved edges, I like pins. That's just me. I grew up as a pin girl. On the straight edges, I like the clips because I think it works out well. Okay, so when you find your middle mark, you pin it or clip it in place, you're good. And then she says to go you're going to ease the curve. So you're going to find the edge of your zipper tabs. You're going to line it up with the bottom of that panel. And I apologize if this isn't like very clear here. You're going to line it up because you want to just ease into that curve. So you don't want to start the curve and go down because it might not line up okay. So pin that one side. Let me close my door. Voila. Okay, so then we're going to find, somebody keeps leaving me feedback. Okay. And then you line up the other side, pin or clip. Again, I like to clip my straight edges and then pin it the other ones. Okay. So I like to go down to the edge of the zipper tab. This is what I do. Again, to each their own. You do what makes it easier. But this is very important that I found, and this is what you should take your time on, is pinning and clipping this part in place, because if you don't take your time around this curved edge right here, it will look wonky. You can tell when the stitch isn't straight and it looks like it's got the little ripples in it. It's because we didn't stitch exactly along the seam allowance correctly. And I mean, I'm not a professional, but I know where I mess up, and that's one of the places. Okay. So I like to go up to the edges of these zipper tabs because it's nice, easy, straight. All right, we're going to do a little bit of the easy part first. Boom, boom. Okay, so this is where you get your little scissors and you're going to go along this zipper tape, and you're going to do little cuts all the way along here to help ease that zipper around the curve as much as you can. I think your seam allowance when you sew it is going to be, hold on, I'll tell you. I'm double checking because I'm really bad at this part, remembering seam allowances. Okay, she says base the zipper in place, yada yada. I can't find it. I think it's a 1/4 inch seam allowance, but don't yell at me later. So keep your little clips to being less than that. Okay, Michelle, I'm sure you can knock out this pocket. It's really not too difficult in the beginning, like this one part. You just got to go slow. The harder part is when you add the waterproof canvas, because the waterproof canvas is so thick. And on my first one, I did ripstop nylon and canvas, so I didn't line the canvas at all with interfacing. And I know some people have been having issues with that, with the bubbling. So beware if it's not very thick canvas. But I didn't have an issue, but it did get too thick on me. So this is honestly my first time doing it with the waterproof canvas. But you're sewing along with me. This isn't a tutorial. It's just come hang out with me while you guys watch me get frustrated. You guys can see my normal sewing process. Okay, so I normally go in and do these clips like really small at first. And then as I start sewing, if I feel like I need more ease or I need it to pull more and I'm within my seam allowance, I'll clip more. But I always like to cut less first. And I don't know, I think I told a couple of you guys this, but these little blue scissors that come with the machine are my best friend. Yeah, waterproof canvas, I mean, she thick. All right, so like it's got this just like, I mean, I'm sure you have it with you if you already cut all your stuff out, but it's like, it's not too bad on most parts except for when you get to this base part. The base is the hardest part, and it's not like, oh my god, super scary, but it's just, you got to go slow and you got to have patience. If you got a walking foot, use the walking foot. But honestly, I don't know, I did it with my regular foot. I don't have a walking foot, although I'm getting ready to invest in one. But you got a walking foot, it would help. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Y'all can see how slow I go. Okay, so now I'm just going to start here at the middle, and I'm going to work my way down on each side, pinning and or clipping. Just working my way down. I like to just, I don't know, you get a feel for what, like, where should it line up, and then I'll readjust as I go. Y'all who are on here are very quiet, so I'm hoping you're doing okay. If you guys have questions, I don't know how well I can answer or help, but I will do what I can. So please drop them in. Again, I've only made one of these so far. I was going to make another one before this video, but, you know, we all got real full-time jobs too, right? Okay. So you see how, like, it automatically wants to, like, fold? That's what makes it difficult. Like, it doesn't want to, boom, like, lay flat for you. So when you're sewing, you just want to go really slow and just keep pulling it flat. I'm not quiet because I'm eating spaghetti. I had spaghetti last night and I had it for lunch, my leftover spaghetti. What kind of pasta? Is it like regular? spaghetti noodles. For everybody watching this later, they're just going to be laughing at us like, what the heck are they talking about? This is not a typical sew-along. And you're right, it's not. This is Kayla's version of a sew-along. And I'm sure, see, I told y'all I'm going to clip more as I go along. Because I got conservative. Boom. Okay. Regular spaghetti today. Well, regular spaghetti's good too. I had fried rice tonight. Ooh, yummy. I like me some fried rice too. I like all the starches and all the pastas. Potatoes too. Okay. I think I'm on my like last pin for now. Again, the more you pin, in my opinion, the better. So yes, this will stab you. Be careful, Michelle. But to me, the clips won't hold this the way a pin will. So like, see how what naturally, I mean, this will look great when it's sewn if I can keep it straight, right? But it naturally just wants to curve and do what it's supposed to be doing. Clips, I feel like just won't do that. Okay. So you guys will watch me sew really slow now. All right. And I'm going to show you guys my setup later, but because I'm so short and my desk is like for normal heighted people. My chair is situated that high. My foot pedal, I wouldn't be able to reach it on the floor, and I'm left-handed and left-footed. So it's up on a shoebox, my foot pedal, so that I can actually reach it. But I'll show you guys that later. Okay, so I'm going to go slow. I'm going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance to start. Because we do still have to add the back, and I can't find it in the directions right now, but I believe it's a 1/4 inch. I'm going to go double check real quick. Clip in place, keeping the exterior ends face down, zipper tabs. Okay, so all it says is base the zipper in place because you still have to add the lining, my bright orange accent fabric. So that's up to you. You can do an 1/8 inch, you can do a 1/4, because I think the final is a 3/8. So I'm going to go with just under a 1/4 inch. Doesn't have to be exact. Again, you're keeping it as a basting. So normally when you do a basting, you increase your stitch length. I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm going to go up to like 3 instead of 2.5. Just so I get like a little bit of ease in there, especially on the curve. And if I get to the curve and I feel like it's still too tight of a stitch, I'll ease it out a little bit more to maybe like a 4mm stitch. Again, just my preference. If I follow the right seam allowance. All right, let's start going slow. Oh, and one of the other tips I had read and heard about that kind of does help is if you want to open your zipper all the way so that you're not technically stitching down the entire zipper. You're only doing like the one side of it. So you can open it up the whole way. Just keep in mind when you get towards the end, you're going to want to pull that closed so that you don't stitch over that. I should have done this before I pinned everything down. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of it. All right, we just go slow. Pull everything out of the way. Don't stitch over your pins. And make sure that the edge of your zipper tape is lining up with your fabric still, because when that shifts, that's when you get that, I found, that you get the bubbling. Okay, see how I have it opened up? And it just makes it a little bit easier because it's not as wide of a piece of fabric that you're stitching down. It's a thinner one. Okay. Voila! Okay, so if I flip this and I look at it, I mean, it's basted in to me. See, I knew I'd mess up. Woo. Okay, so obviously I didn't follow my seam allowance very well. I missed a spot. I have no problem showing you guys that I mess up too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over that seam real quick again, especially since it's just basted in. I'm going to follow it, and I'm going to try to keep my seam allowance a little bit better now, especially now that it's kind of tacked down in most of the places. Hola, whoever just joined. Hi. And then make sure that it's nice and like tacked down the whole way. It's nice and smooth. But so far, like, I don't see too much bubbling. I'm a little proud of myself, except for like up here where, again, I didn't follow my seam allowance perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to do that one more time. Make it nice and even and smooth. Yeah, the joys of sewing. Okay. All right. Ta-da! Normal hole. Okay. Everything looks pretty good to me. Again, we're going to be stitching over that again anyway, so I'm not too concerned. We'll make it even nicer on the next go around, and then we'll also be top stitching it, so that'll seal it up nice. Okay, so this might go over an hour and a half. I would say like an hour and a half is what this is going to take. We'll see. Okay. Okay, so you can set this one aside for now because we're going to go prep the other side of this. So I decided to do the back side of it. I think it says you can do, I mean, you can honestly do whatever you want, but I did like an accent, a bright orange. And then, there's pens up here. A slip pocket, which I decided to do in the same color. Again, everybody can do their own thing. And I would say go ahead and switch your color to match this, but I want it to be in a contrasting one. Obviously, to me, it's a little bit more Halloween-y if I do black thread on the orange fabric. I'm going to go slow so I keep my stitch nice and straight. Don't judge me if it's not. So the top stitch, so you're going to, your slip pocket that you cut out is interfaced, pressed in half, nice and even. Got a little bit of stabilizer hanging out. You're going to go ahead and top stitch this, the top of the pocket. This is your preference. You can do close, you can do double stitch, you can do whatever you want. So I think I'm going to just do probably 1/4 of an inch along the top. I'm only going to do one. I did 2 the other day and it did come out straight and it made me mad. So and it's not a structural stitch, so you don't, I mean, the edges are going to get tucked away in the seam allowance anyway later. So I didn't backstitch. Don't judge me. Okay. So once you've done that little top stitching, 1 or 2, however you want to do it, or even 3, you're just going to line that up along the edges and the bottom of the pocket. And then you're going to clip in place. Boom. Obviously, normally I would do this laying flat. So what you're gonna do next is once you get this clipped in place, you're gonna just baste around the 3 raw edges. So side, side, bottom. So I just start here, go around, stop, and it's just a basting stitch. This is just gonna keep the pocket in place as we sew it to the other side of the zipper. So you don't really, you can extend your stitch length even further. I'm gonna go 3.5. You don't need a back stitch. You don't need to do anything special. Just stitch it down. And then I believe, let me double check. Yeah, she says to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which again, because you're gonna go a little bit past that when you're gonna do 3/8 when you do here. So 1/4 inch or less, get it basted down. All right, voila. Pocket stuck down. Good to go. All right. Any comments, questions, concerns so far? You guys are quiet. I'm hoping you're sewing. Okay. Whenever you guys, somebody let me know you guys are good. You guys can still see me. If you need me to slow down, speed up, let me know. I don't know how much faster I can speed up, but okay. Okay, so remember how we clipped that top edge to tell us where the middle part? Suzanne, stop working ahead. You're being an overachiever. I'm just slow. Okay. This is honestly the pace that I work at, and I'm watching TV half the time, so I go even slower, and people wonder why I'm in my craft room all day. Okay, so we're going to find the middle part of this panel as well to make sure everything's lined up. We're going to clip that little top edge. Boom. Woo. Little notch. All right, then we're going to line that up, and then make sure that you're not doing it on the part we haven't sewn on yet. You're going to do it on the same piece of zipper that we already sewed on. You're just putting the fabrics right side together. All right, so find all the center notches. Okay, see, I got fabric and zipper that's already sewn together, and then I'm putting that orange right on top of that, and I'm going to clip it, pin it right here in the middle. And then I'm going to do it from this side, because what we're going to do is we're going to zip on, or we're going to sew on top of these lines to make sure that we're going over those lines. You don't want to see these stitches later. So I'm going to pin from this side, from my main panel side. And we're going to do like we did before, pin in the middle, pin on the bottoms, and then ease that curve. Suzanne, I think you need another hobby so that you don't sew so much. I'm kidding. But I'm jealous of you that you get to sew all day long. If only I had the time or the ability to do that, I would be happy. Okay, so I'm going to do this before I start pinning. I'm going to unzip the zipper all the way to make my life easier. I'm going to pull it down. This is kind of just out of the way. I'm going to do my straight sides up to here with some clippies. Boom. Come to this side. Do you sell your bags, Suzanne, or your stuff? Or do you just sew as your job because you like doing it? I wish it was my job, like 100% of the time. It's my job from 6 p.m. to like 11:30, depending on when I want to go to bed. And of course, there's breaks in between there to make sure Luke is fed and homeworked. Oh, you said, ooh, Etsy shop and local fairs. What's your Etsy shop? You should put it on here. If anybody's got an Etsy shop, they should put it on here, or where you sell your stuff. And this would make a cute addition to anybody's shop, I think, in my opinion. If you can sew them fast enough and you can make money off of it, why not? This I do for fun. I don't sell bags because then there's pressure on me to make everything straight stitch. And if I do it myself, I'm OCD enough to make it work. But then I'm the only one that notices the imperfections. Okay, cool. Post it later. Who are my other people watching right now? It says I got quite a few people watching, so I only know if Suzanne's on. Michelle, I'm assuming you're still there, or did you finish your spaghetti? Constance, I think, was on earlier. I'm hoping she got back on when I figured out you guys couldn't see me. Okay, so I'm taking my time a little bit more on this side because I'm sandwiching the zipper, and it can't just fold how it wants to now. So I'm just taking my time a little bit more. I'm pinning a little extra. To me, the pins help. Pins are a little bit more malleable. No such thing as imperfections. They're just character. I like that. That's a true statement. Because then it makes it unique, right? A one-of-a-kind bag. Oh, Constance, you are here. I had hoped to sew, but I wasn't able to get everything ready. Well, you can get everything ready while you're watching. It's not like I'm going fast. We're going slow. And then, of course, you can always watch the replay of me talking about messing up. And for anybody that wants like an actual tutorial on this and not just, you know, hanging out with me while I sew up another one of these, Lynn's Handmade, who put this design out, I'm sure you guys know, since you probably bought this, is she has a YouTube channel where she usually posts these really good, she usually posts a tutorial per pattern that she comes out with, and I've loved every one. I always learn something unique and new with each one. Okay, so we're gonna do okay, we're gonna go and sew. I apologize. We're gonna sew around this edge. We're gonna make sure that we get in right inside these lines. Go slow. You don't want puckering later. And we're gonna see what we can do. See if I can catch it all this first time. My zipper pulls in the way right here. My zipper pulls in the way right here, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't sew over it because then it's gonna make my stitch wonky. This is when going from the other side would have been smarter. There we go. Alright, now I can zipper back this way. Make sure your needle's down if you're going to do something silly like this. There it is. And this helps to have a bigger zipper pull when you mess up like that. Okay. Okay. Everybody doing okay over there? When I say go slow, I wasn't kidding. All right. Because I'm OCD, I'm going to go over it one more time. Because that's me. Okay, overkill, but you know. Okay, so then you're going to stick your hand in the bottom. You're going to find it. You're going to pull it inside out. Boom, boom, boom. All right, let's see how bad I messed up. I just assume I messed up. 9 times out of 10, you know, life happens. All right, who's coming in today? Hello. What's up? We're sewing.
Gotcha. You're good.
Okay. And like I said, I messed up. So I caught, when I was sewing, I caught too much of the zipper tape. I did this last time, and I think it's my zipper. I don't know. Who knows what I'm doing wrong? See, I'm not qualified to do tutorials, which is why I'm doing sew longs. So you guys can laugh at me while you're sewing. Okay. Huh. It doesn't look horrible, right? Like, it's fairly straight. I mean, it looks better than my last one. Okay. Let's zipper up. That's my favorite part. Woohoo. Woo. I love how the zipper matches, kind of. It's close enough orange. Okay, ta-da! Here's your front of your pocket. Your little slip in. Ta-da! Okay, so now it says to top stitch it. I mean, obviously this part's optional if you don't want to, but I think it like gives it a little bit of a cleaner, more professional look. Just be careful right here and right here where the zipper tab pulls are. You've got a lot of fabric right in here. So again, go slow. And what I like to do is I like to top stitch along, not the zipper, but this part, the fabric. I like to pull and keep it taut as I'm going. I don't know who Facebook user is right now. Here, let me see. Can I click you? Boom. But thank you. I know. I just love this fabric. I need to go remember where I got it from. I want to say it was Knittorious, maybe? I don't remember. Okay. And then top stitching it, like seam allowance is kind of up to you. Sometimes I stitch in the ditch. Sometimes I do it like quarter, sometimes eighth. let's press this down. Voila. We got top stitching. All right. So, okay, we got a little bubble there. We got a little one. Not too bad. I can go and fix that if I really wanted to. Just kidding. I can't. Okay. But anyway, I think it came out okay. So here's your front pocket piece so far. Pretty, pretty. All right. What are we going to go to next? Okay. So this is where you can deviate your pattern. And I'm going to go grab my piece real quick. Hold on. Okay. So you can do one of two things at this point in time. Okay. So you can do your, I'm afraid to move my phone. You can do the card slot pocket. So you can get it. This doesn't have a pattern piece because it's so long. She just tells you the dimensions to cut it out at. So you can cut this out, interface it, and then we can, and I'm going to do this time so you guys can see it. The bag is the H20 To Go Sling from Linds, Linds, handmade. She's on the patterns on Etsy. I'll link it down below later. Okay, so we're going to mark up this piece of fabric for the card slot and iron it down. I'll bring you over with me. And then you then take the card slot, you attach it to this piece, and you do these two side panels. You cut out the top to make it nice and rounded, and then you're done. And then you add it in. Or you can essentially make another one of these curved parts, another slip pocket, and it tells you the dimensions to cut these out at on the pattern. And then you can just have two slip pockets, and then the inside one is a little bit wider, so you can even stitch a little line, and you can add in a pin pocket. Okay, so I'm gonna go take you guys over with me, and I'm going to attempt to follow these directions and mark up this pocket. And you guys can, there's a one part I forgot to do. So we're going to go over to my cutting table. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. You guys see me okay? Okay. And then I have my iron plugged in too. Okay. All right. So I have my big ruler. Let me get my pen. My favorite pen. I got this from Walmart. It's Mark Begon's Ink and Disappearing Ink. The purple is air and water soluble, and the other side is water soluble. I like the purple side. Okay, so it says first, boom, to mark it. Yo. It says first to mark it down 6 inches. That's going to be our first line. So go 6 inches down. Mark it. Okay. And this one you're going to fold, boom, underneath. And then from there, it says go I used the wrong side. This is why we use air-soluble markers. Okay, here. Okay, 6 inches down, mark it, and then go 1 inch under that, and that's going to be your first like line, your top edge. I don't know how to describe this. is where the top edge of the pocket is going to meet at, right? I don't know. Card slots never, like, they just never make super sense to me. Okay, so I'm gonna mark down this first one. I'm gonna iron it real quick. Boom, 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 boom. So you guys can see me iron. What's this? Here. Okay. What else? So I'm just gonna pinch this, and then iron's gonna take a second. You could even probably pinch it. Okay. You guys doing okay? How's it going? Okay. So that is 6 inches folded down, and that's technically the back card slot, I guess you could call it. Right? And then the 1 inch down is the other mark we made. 1 inch, and then we're going to go down 4.5 from that top line. That's going to be your first pinch line, it says. And then you're going to go 5 inches down from the top one, so only half an inch from the last line we did. And that's going to be the top edge of your next pocket. So anyway, I'll figure it. I do it better when I go from the bottom up. Okay, 5 inches down. That was your top edge of pocket, and then you're gonna go 8 5/8. 2. There'll be another pinch line. Then you're gonna go 9 1/8. Whoever came up with 1/8 inches is not a nice person. Okay, 12 3/4. See, I can do 3/4. Those are easy. These rulers are amazing, by the way, if you don't have one already. That's a pinch line. So I'm doing it like the pattern says. So I'm doing my pinch line in a dash because I started doing it on my green one for the Baby Yoda, and I could not differentiate to save my life. I think I did it backwards. Okay, and the last one with the pinch line is 16 3/4. 16 3/4. Pinch line, dotted line. Okay. All right, now we're gonna boom. We're gonna iron this baby down. Okay. Okay, here it says pinch the size of the card slot at 4.5 inches, which would be the first dash line we made. It says pinch. Pinched. And then bring this up to the 1 inch marking. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys. Okay, so I did the dash lines. Ignore this up here. I messed up. Whew. These dash line is where you're gonna pinch. Right? And then it says bring this, right? I'm pinching. You gotta bring it up to that 1 inch mark right here. That's the line of your first one. I know this says to interface it, but I feel like it's fairly thick. Maybe I just use really thick cotton. I don't know. I guess you don't want wobbly card slots, right? All right, and then now pinch, it says at the 8 5/8, which is the next dash line. Bring it up to this next solid line, and so on and so forth. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. The instructions are fairly clear if you actually read them like I didn't. press these down real good. Okay, pinch and fold. Pinch, pinch, and fold. I don't know. When I do card slots, I like to do all the top of the lines, like top of the pockets, and iron those first before, because to me it just makes, I don't know, it looks better. But that's me. And I folded some of these, or marked some of these lines cockeyed. Alright. Alright, so pinch, fold up, pinch, fold up. And when you watch her video, she describes this a little bit better, in my opinion, than I'm doing. But essentially, at the end of the day, there should be, what is it, half an inch between the tops of each of the card slots. Half an inch is what it says, or what she said. And then, obviously, you don't want to use a pen that you can see. Like using this air-soluble one works out really well for me, because marks will go away soon. Alright, last one. A little accordion. Oh man, what did I do? Okay, this one, and then this one up here. Alright, last one. She thick. Okay. Verify your cards fit nicely. If you'd like to, you should have, it's at 1/8 gaps. I don't know how to tell measurements apparently. Okay. So you're supposed to top stitch the tops of each of these little folds, and then I'm trying to make sure this is pressed really good. Top stitch each one of those, and then do a nice basting stitch along the edges, and I'll show you what I'm going to do. And then you're supposed to base once you put it on top of your other piece. You may not be able to see mine very well because it's orange on orange. Hot tamales. Okay, I'm gonna take you with me back to the machine. Okay, ready? Oh no. Oh no, sorry if I lost you for a minute. Okay. I think we're doing okay on time. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the bottom one, my preference. I'm gonna do tight little stitch. One. Go to the next one. That was number 2. We're going to do number 3. That's number 3. Number 4. And last but not least, numero 5. You'd think I know my Spanish better. Okay, last one. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was cockeyed. Okay, whatever. All right, now I got it. Oh, nice. Voila. Okay. So now, yeah, this is cockeyed. All right. I can fix it with the iron. Okay. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take you over in a minute. We're going to, okay, I'm not going to take you anywhere yet. We're going to take this. We're going to line it up on the bottom, line up on the edges. And then we're going to baste 1, 2, 3, just like we did with the slip pocket. But obviously you're going to have a bunch more bulk on these sides, so take your time. I'm going to clip here. Nice straight seams. Should be easy. If you find your pockets are a little cockeyed, you can take it over to the iron, straighten them out a little bit. Finger press them. Like, mine are not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. For those that came to the expo, I'll do random expo announcements while I'm here. I might skip wine and chat this week, who knows. But for those that came to the expo, there are some class kits available. My teachers got back to me with all their quantities of what's available. Still, I'll be posting those hopefully tomorrow or Friday. Welcome to whoever's been joining or disappearing on me. No hard feelings. Everything will be reposted later. This is not a tutorial. It's just hanging out with me while I sew. Okay. All right. We're going to base this in. I'm going to go for my stitch length. All right. Voila. She ain't pretty, but she's together. Okay. And again, my little markings will go away eventually. And it's air and water soluble, so I can technically just dab a little water on them, and the lines will go away too. Okay. My OCD is going to drive me nuts, so I'm going to take off my OCD. My OCD on my very imperfect bag. I only have OCD about things that don't matter. I'm going to trim off these extra little fuzzies. This is why I love knit fabric so much. You never have these, and you can always get away with not hemming. Oh, hey, thanks, Lisa. I appreciate you putting that up. I would have forgot later. Yeah, Lisa just posted the link to this pattern that we're working on. Voila. Okay. So the next step is to take, there's these two little side pieces. And what you're going to do, if you cut them right, I cut them right. Okay, you're going to pin these to each side. So right sides together, pin them to the side. Let me just show you. Pin. One more. We're going to pin here. And then one more. Ah. And then you're going to do the same with this one, but on this side. And And then you're just going to do a stitch right along the edge. I'm going to lower my stitch length down just a tad. We're going to put those in. I don't know if she said a specific stitch length. Let me double check and then get a drink of water real quick. Okay. Yes, she says do 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then we're going to press it open. My iron's still hot, and then we'll top stitch at 1/8 on these card slots. So 1/4 inch seam allowance. My iron heard me say that it was still hot and decided to turn itself off. Let me go turn it back on real quick. All right. Okay, put this one on. Hey, Lisa, I didn't know you were hanging out with us too. I'm happy to see you hang out. Did you see my post on IG about my awesome ears? I was unpacking boxes still from a week and a half, almost 2 weeks later. I was unpacking boxes from the expo and trying to reorganize it because of all the electrical cords and fun stuff we have. And I was feeling upset that we weren't at the expo anymore, so I put my ears on to make myself feel better. Yep, it's on our expo Instagram, and I tagged Dragon Girl Design Co. in it, your Etsy shop, since Lisa 3D printed my awesome ears for me. All right, so we sewed both of them on. So you're going to, my life. I apparently did not do a 1/4 inch. I need to go back and do it. Okay, so I'm going to go fix my stitch real quick, and then we're going to press it open and then top stitch 1/8 seam allowance. So let me go fix my stitch real quick. I'm going to do it from the side so I can make sure I'm doing this correct. Also, downside of using contrasting thread is you can see all your mistakes. I mean, it's good and it's bad, but all right, this one should have worked. Ta-da! You can't see it now. All right. This is what I'm talking about. All these little straggler strings. I don't like to wait till the end because when I'm done, I want to be done and I don't want to think about it later. Okay. So I'm going to go press this open real quick and then we're going to come and top stitch. Give me one momento. Okay, not my best top stitching job or pressing job, but now we're gonna do 1/8 along this panel here, one for each. Starting from the other side. I didn't plug my phone back in. Normally I would sew up a little bit faster, but silly me decided to do contrasting because I thought it was cool. Okay, phone plug back in. Alright, do it here. Alright. She top stitched. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so this comes the fun part. So we're going to go cut this fabric now, which I thought was an interesting concept. So what she does, it would help if I had the pattern piece. Hold on. All right. That's how I store my patterns. Plastic baggies. All right, you're gonna go take. Yes. Just double check I got the right piece. Okay, yep. So this one is the back pocket liner template. Yeah, I got the right one. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay this down centered on top of this. So again, find your center mark. Okay, find your center mark, right? The center mark is already marked on here, the little line. And you're gonna line this up on top. And you're gonna cut around it. Move that out of the way, we don't need that. Okay. And you're going to lay this on top, boop, and cut around. So then you have the right shape, but you have it perfectly centered, ready to go. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab my weights. My weights. I get my weights from the hardware store because I am cheap. They're just washers, like heavy metal washers. All right. It's only slightly wonky because of the weight, like the thickness of these pockets. But I'm gonna just take my rotary cutter, go around. Anybody else make faces when they're cutting fabric out? Anybody else left-handed? I was curious how many creative people are left-handed. All right. Okay. Sheet that out. I'm glad to see I'm not the only one. Okay. Ta-da. Boom. Right shape now. Okay. And you got that big pocket down here. Got the card slots. Very nice, very nice. All right. So then what we're going to do is now assemble the pocket onto the actual exterior. Okay. So I'm going to take you over. Good. I just cleaned my craft room and now it's already messy again. I just bit my tongue concentrating on what I'm sewing. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does it. Okay. Bring you over here with me. Hi. Up close and personal, y'all. I think I got Suzanne and Lisa and like one other on here with me still. Okay. Thanks for hanging out with me. 1:20. All right. Let's see if we can get done in 10 minutes. I feel like the next part kind of goes up quick, in my opinion. Okay. So you're going to take the main body exterior. Yeah. Y'all see my table? Okay. And we're going to take main body. Remember I did the little middle part? We're going to find the middle on this, that little arch. So you just want to find that. Clip it. Boom. Okay. Okay. We're going to sew on the side of the zipper that we haven't touched yet, this empty side. And this is a little bit backwards. When I thought it was backwards, at least. Again, I'm just double checking I'm not saying anything wrong. Okay, so this is laid down, right? Face up. This you're going to lay down face up as if like this is how you look at the back. This, you're going to take this side of the zipper you haven't sewn on. You're going to line it up, and you're going to flip this upwards, okay? You're going to mark. You're going to make sure that matches up there, and that's where you're pinning that. And then the best way to sew this, I like to know how we should sew it, because then at least I know which way I should pin it, so I can easily pull my pins out as I'm going. That's me. I'm glad I'm company for you, Suzanne. Yeah, this is my dungeon, as I like to say. It's in the back of the house. So I appreciate the company of hanging out. And at least when I'm talking out loud when I'm sewing, I don't seem like I'm too crazy. Okay. So the best way to sew this, she says, there it goes again, is from the inside of the zipper. Okay. From the inside right here. Okay, so I know I'm going to pin my pins going outwards or like inwards right here, but from this side. So that helps me know where to pin. So I'm going to pin this middle one first. Right there. And then you can just follow it. This is a lot easier. I didn't find that I really needed to clip the zipper like I did before, but you still can. I think it helps a little bit in certain spots. But here it was interesting. She didn't say to clip the bottoms. She said just start with the middle and ease your way. And I didn't have an issue. And actually it worked out well, because I think on the last one, this pocket right here seemed to be just slightly bigger than this. It was probably me sewing with wrong seam allowances or something. In the end, it looked fine. But at least, all right, so we're just sewing around. We're going to clip this around. I can't hold it down like that. At least it still looked good. But, yes. So I found that starting from the middle, I like to go down a couple inches on one side and then flip to the other one, so that at least way I'm pulling the fabric evenly. Can y'all see that okay? Okay. Just keep going along. And again, I like to put more pins than I think I need. I used to be Miss Cocky Pants and be like, I don't need pins. And then I would always get frustrated why things didn't line up. Now I just say, screw it. Let me take my time pinning, because then it causes me less seam ripping time later. I'm gonna laugh because you know what I did again? I forgot to unzip this dang thing. Okay, so another thing you can you can unzip it. Sorry. Okay. Unzip it. That'll make it easier too. But like I said before, you know, think about these things before you pin the whole dang thing and want to scream at yourself later. Got it. Is anybody besides Suzanne actually sewing anything right now? You know, even if you're not sewing this bag. Hopefully somebody finds this a tad bit useful later. See, this is what I'm talking about. See how it doesn't line up? I don't know if it's me or if the pattern's built that way. Anybody else make one of these yet and can tell me? I try to follow seam allowances as best as I can. Yeah, this would be an interesting class next year for sure. We definitely have to mark this as this is not a beginner bag making class, I don't think. I think you definitely need to know how to sew a zipper before you do this and understand interfacings a little bit. But I do think this would be a really good class. I would not teach myself. As much as I liked teaching the first year, I think you guys have seen I don't sit down long enough. Lisa, I think your class and one other class, the Dapper Day class, was the only time I sat down during a class, and those were on like the last day, so it was calm and peaceful. But yeah, I think I would love to teach again, but I'm gonna plug my phone back in because I'm gonna keep forgetting. Oh, you're in bed. Oh, you're just hanging out with me? Aw. I bought the pattern, but was waiting for this to see how to do it. Oh, cool. Well, hopefully you'll learn from all my mistakes. Okay, so now we're just going to take our time and then just go right along here. Okay, so she says here, this is not a basting stitch and not to top stitch it when you flip it out. So that you do your 1/4 inch seam allowance. You don't base this. This is the seam that it's going to be, and I'll show you why once we get to the next step. I think how she constructs patterns and how she captures linings inside things like the Dana, really interesting, unique stuff, in my opinion. Okay. I'm going to move my zipper, pull back out of the way again. Ah. And then you want to keep making sure like you're not catching this fabric. There's a lot of fabric here. You want to make sure as you're going, you're keeping that out of the way. You're not stitching something you shouldn't. Michelle's going to laugh. I just pricked myself whenever Michelle watches this. So whoever's on here, what do you guys listen or watch when you're sewing? Because normally I have music on or I have a show I'm listening to or an audiobook. Like I'm back on my Outlander series again that I haven't read since like high school. I liked Outlander before Outlander was cool, by the way. before it came a TV series. If anybody knows what Outlander is. All right. I know that wasn't a 1/4 inch all the way around. Yeah. Missed a spot. Okay. I'm going to go around one more time. Make sure I got that good. Let's see. I have audiobooks, podcasts, and loud music. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that read the books. I found Drums of Autumn at the thrift store when I was in high school, like 9th grade. And so I read that one. I realized it was the 4th one in the series. So I started rereading them, or read them all from the beginning. I think I got to like the 6th or 7th one before I was fully caught up. And then all of a sudden they came out with the series, the TV series, and they got big. Depends on the day and time. Ooh, Crime Junkie Podcast. That's cool. I've heard those are really good. I've been listening to the Pin podcast by Pin Up Miami. That's been my latest guilty pleasure. Woo. Come on. All right. Did I catch it all? Yay. I caught it all this time. Okay. Ta-da. Okay. So we're not going to top stitch this yet. What we're going to do is you want to get your card slot pocket. Or if you decided not to do card slot and you decided to do this slip pocket. We're going to grab this. Okay. And then, okay, this is going to be face down, right? Got our center line. I'm going to push this pocket out of the way. Okay. So the same line, the zipper side that we just sewed on, we're going to match those sides up. Okay, so what we're going to do differently, whereas before we sewed along this zipper side, we're going to sew on the lining side this time. I'm remembering it all as I do this. Okay, so I'm going to pin from the lining side. I'm going to match here. Come on. This fabric keeps wanting to fold on me. Okay, I'm going to pin here. And the reason why we're doing this is because what you're going to want to do is your stitch lines, you're going to want to go just to the inside of it. So where are we going? Just to the right of it as you're sewing so that you're catching that seam line inside there and nobody can see it. So again, I found this part wasn't as difficult. And then I think this is probably where it's more beneficial to clip the zipper a little bit for the curves. But again, I mean, this wasn't even the bad part. I think the bad part for the zipper was that first outer pocket area. But you do have a little bit of bulk, a little bit more bulk here with some of these seams for where the card slots are. I'm jealous of Suzanne that has a basement. I wish Florida had basements. I mean, we get flooded a lot, but I think a basement would be cool. We can't build down. We can only build up. And that's no fun. Suzanne, how far ahead of me are you right now? Are you like done with yours already? Oh, I'm at 136. I'm definitely not finished in an hour and a half. My bad, guys. Hopefully we finish in the next 15 minutes. Ooh, it's 9:30. I should have started this earlier. Okay. See, it does not line up at the bottom, but I guess that's why we're starting on one side. I'm going to double check I didn't. These isn't wonky. I have the front pocket on and starting the lining. Ah! Okay, you're only slightly more ahead of me. I gotta beat Suzanne. Okay. No, see, this one lines up, but this one doesn't. Okay, I gotta fix my other pinning on the other side. All right, clip. I found it. This one spot right here doesn't like me. Okay, got it. They caught a possum. What? Smart dogs, but dang. Yeah, that's scary, especially if the possum might have rabies. I feel like that's the only thing that worries me about living out here. Like, we have land out here, and I'm always scared that one of them's gonna get like a pygmy rattlesnake when they're out there, because we have a little bit of uncleared land, and dogs are just too brave. Okay, like I said, we're gonna stitch right on the inside of this line. I threw my pen, I just lost it. Okay. As you can tell, I'm going to just go over this at one time, and then I'm going to go over it again to make sure I actually caught everything correctly. Because I would rather not deal with pins. I feel like this is when a walking foot would come in handy, but only if it gets close enough to the edge. Okay. Lots of bulk here. Just taking our time. coming up at the end of the curve. Yeah. All right. Should be easy street now. I say this, I'm gonna jinx myself. See what I did? I jinxed myself. All right. All right. Plus side of using the black zipper, nobody can see. I messed that up. Okay. Making sure I caught everything. The worst part is finishing a bag and realizing you missed a seam somewhere, which I've done on many occasions. Yeah, bulk. There's a bit of a bulk in here, but right now it's not too bad because it's only cotton, like interface cotton. Okay, so this part then says that to top stitch, and then you're going to top stitch not on the zipper again, but right on this fabric, and then it's an 1/8 inch again. So remember, just pull as you're going. You should be good. Whoa, I'm going the wrong way. My bad. There we go. Okay. Tuck that out of the way. Makes things easier on myself. You should make sure your seams are coming out towards you, and you're stitching on top of that. I think I might have missed a little bit back there, but I think I might have caught it. I'll go double check. All right, top stitch done. Yeah, I caught some of it. I missed a little bit. I'll just trim it down. Okay, voila. Yeah, Lindsay does make it look so easy in her tutorial. It's a little frustrating, but it's not bad once you start doing it. And I mean, honestly, look how nice and fun that looks. I just love it. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Now is the easy part. We just sew the side seams. Okay. I'm going to do this real quick. We're going to take this main piece, so put the right sides together along this long edge. Clip. Suzanne's probably like already done with the base. Boom. Okay. This. She does this at hold on. What did she do it at? She did this at 3/8 inch seam allowance. supposed to press that open. So because I like to stay on easy street for a minute, and I already clipped it, I'm going to do the lining long side edge as well real quick. Also at 3/8 inch seam, 3/8 inch seam allowance. Okay. Okay. So then waterproof canvas, not really, because it's so plasticky. Yeah, the base is the fun part, Suzanne, especially with the lining. Okay, so waterproof canvas, because it's, you know, it's this very plasticky material. You're not really supposed to put an iron to it. I mean, obviously I did to put this on, but I had like 2 pressing cloths on this. So you just finger press this open, and then what you're going to do is you're going to find the 4 corners. My scissors. Okay. So I keep it together like how I had. Do a little clip here. Boom. Okay. I'm going to take that clip and that seam, line them up. And I'm going to find a corner here. And do the same here. Boom. Okay. There's your 4 there. I'm going to do it. I like to just, when I'm in a process of something, I like to do it all at the same time. I don't know why you're sticking out so much. A little pocket guy is sticking out. Okay. So see how, like I said, I had extra right here. I'm going to cut it down real quick, so it's easier. Everything lines up. Again, I don't know if it's me or the pattern's meant to have like some extra overlap there. Okay. All right, Suzanne, hopefully I'll catch up to you. Okay. So again, find that center, and look how many like layers that is right there. So keep it in mind, like I shouldn't have, but I did waterproof canvas on the inside and the outside because I like the idea of having the like a very sturdy bottom on the outside for when I put it down on the ground, especially if I'm going to use this like I'm going to at the theme parks. I don't know. Okay. Eventually I'll find the middle of this dang thing. Okay, here it is. There's got to be like 5 layers in there, and then it's all interfaced. This is when I think like keeping your interface higher up is more helpful. I'm going to get my regular cutting scissors. Clip this. Okay. I didn't do a triangle. Okay. And then match those up. Find the side seams. And what I did the first time I did this was I didn't pin the whole way around because it was so difficult to do it. I pinned it everywhere but this pocket area, and then I just went really freaking slow around the rest. All right. We're gonna have some fun. Okay. So then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find the 4 spots on here. So I should have done this prior. On the pattern, it shows it. Sugar. Okay. I don't want to crease it. Let me go get the pattern piece so I can mark it with the pattern piece. One sec. Okay, so the pattern piece has these little lines. So I can just line this up. One, two, three, four. And then do it again for this base. One. That's not good. I just heard a pin drop. I'm sure I'll step on it later. Okay. All right. So then, now that we have that clip, okay, so what we're supposed to do is then clip all along this base so that it has ease as we're going around this Nightmare River circle. It says like no more than a 1/4 inch. So I found that doing one every like 1/4 inch, it was like the more the better. And then I did my first marking, and then I went through, and as I was sewing on some of them, I upped it, the length of the little cuts, because you can never have too much leeway. See, that's how much bulk it is. My little scissors won't go through it. This is when that slip pocket was really nice. Okay. Just even straight. Come on. Oh, Jesus. All right. Now let me clip it. I had a little bit too much fabric under that baseline from earlier. All right. May or may not have to finish this up tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna line up this one mark with here. Oh, you're supposed to press this open, but okay. And like I said, I like to use the pins around the curves. And then she said to sew like this like on this side. So I found that worked well for this one, for the main piece, just because of the bulk on the pocket side. And keep in mind, waterproof canvas, like on the inside, is similar to vinyl. Once you poke a hole in it, that hole's there. So just keep that in mind. But see, as you can see how much, like, I don't know, maybe you can't, but there's a huge sandwich there of fabric. A pin's not going to go through all that. But then I found, like, look at this. So I think, in my opinion, the base of this was hard, whatever it's called, I'm blanking on the name, is too big, because you're supposed to marry these edges up and then sew like right along here. But I feel like when you pull this up, there's too much. There's too much going on. There's too much there. Like, this should be smaller, I think. I think that would help. Okay, let me find the side cut. Ow. Poke myself. Okay, I'll poke it there, poke it there. I'll try to get the four corners going. Can squeeze it in. And then from there, honestly, it's all fair game. Okay. So you can go ahead and try to take a stab at this, but you see how it's like buckling and like right here? To me, it shouldn't be doing that. But that's me. And it's like, squeezing it in there. Yeah. I follow the seam allowances, so I don't know if it's maybe just if it's meant to be sewn on top of here or whatnot. I know I ended up like sewing directly on top of that and it ended up curving last time. So I don't know. So you guys can laugh at me as I attempt to do this. This is more bulk than the last one I did. I'm not going to pin it a bunch just because I got the main spots in and because I feel like even if I pinned, because it's got so much space, like there's so much fabric extra here, it's not going to make it any different. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a stab at this. The waterproof canvas, I have some shipping from Fabric Warehouse Direct, FWD, but I found somebody posted on Lynn's group that you can go to a Walmart, and I found some at my Walmart. It's you gotta look for it. It's called Pro Tough, TUFF outdoor fabric. It's like where all the duck cloth and stuff is at Walmart, and it was like right under $5 a yard, I think. But they only had this. They had green. I think like a red left. There wasn't much. So I think the nicer Walmarts have it, but not all the Walmarts have it. All right, let's give this a go. Son of a turd. Downside to pins too is they don't bend. So I have it standing up like this. And what I did the first time is I just went around it one time to get it like lined up like I've been doing. That's, I guess, my personal trick. Do it once, get it tacked on, like edges of fabric lined up, and then after that you can go make it look pretty. Can you see it? Okay. I just realized you guys probably can't see my machine like at all. Okay. Wheel. I also used ripstop nylon for the first one, Lisa. And that worked out really well. It had less bulk. It was just a slick and everything. But I think that one, it's a good way if you want to just get the hang of it. Use ripstop nylon first. All right, take this baby out. All right. All right, we're coming up on the pocket, so wish me luck, y'all. And I'm trying not to pull or anything too much. See, there we go. totally went off cockeyed there. Okay, so I'm going to stop at that section, and then I'm going to just start it back up after this pocket. So at least I have those portions lined up okay. And then I can go back over to that other section. We finally fixed the door. Like, the door wasn't always staying closed in this room. And then, as you guys saw from the live videos, Zeus would always just like walk in by like 9 o'clock every night. We fixed it. And now he's whining at the door because he can't get in, and it's 9 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. Jeez. You know, I was smart and pinned this at first for a reason. Now I can't get it back in. All right, here we go. You guys hear him? All right. All right, it's halfway done. Okay. All right. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. So I think because it's coming up on 10, and I have a guest sleeping in this room, I'm going to probably come back and finish this tomorrow. And we'll do a part 2 of this, because this is the hardest part. So, and I'm tired and my eyes are hurting. So I don't want to F this up too much. Yeah, because I am not getting this part in very well right now. I think yeah. Okay, so we're going to continue this tomorrow in a part 2, where we will get through this nightmare of a base, and then we'll do the base for the waterproof and assemble it and do the hardware and everything else, because we'll probably be on here another hour if I keep going. Okay, so thanks for everybody that hung out with me so far. And she's looking pretty so far. But yeah, we'll come and we'll hang out again tomorrow. I'll set up another live time, and you guys can come back and watch part 2. I hope you guys have a good night. And Suzanne, did you get done? Oh, what time? What time? What's tomorrow? Thursday? Probably like 6:30 my time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30, so 5:30 your time. And then yeah, this should be a good time. I'll be off work and have enough time. I don't have to prep tomorrow since we're already there. Did you get done? Okay, yeah, that liner, man, I don't know how you got through this part. But yeah, we'll finish up tomorrow, and then we'll get her looking pretty. We'll do the hardware and everything together. Thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you guys have a good night. See you tomorrow.